Hello. Welcome to my little walking example of my workspace. I figured I'd start out with some examples of what I make when I'm working. So I'm a wood turner, obviously, and I like to explore many other things too. So here's a small sampling of some of my work. Nice segmented bowl. Apologize for the lighting, but I'm not a studio. There's a matched set of wood turning tools there on a board that you can mount to the wall, and other miscellanea, but this is more about the workspace, so let's go downstairs and I'll show you the shop. So as I come down the basement stairs, here's the entrance to my shop. There's a bunch of metal stock. Here's some of my saw blades, 10-inch saw blades anyway. Here's one of my workhorses is a nice 16-inch bandsaw, which I have remotored with a 3-phase motor and controller, so I have infinitely variable speed, so I can cut metal or wood with it. Then we cut back over here, my 6x48 belt sander with a disc, which I never really use a disc, principally because I have the 12-inch disc sander there. There's a nice little spindle sander. That's an oscillating spindle sander. This is a old Craftsman grinder that still runs perfectly, and it's running about 40 years old, I guess. That's my main sharpening device. Here's another sharpening unit. Bunch of fiber wheels and sandpaper up there. My drum sander. Vacuum cleaner, of course. I rarely used except as a bench or horizontal space anyway is my radio alarm saw. I used to use that a lot, but I'll show you why I don't use it much anymore later. My 10-inch table saw, I fitted that out with a router table extension and all sorts of fixturing. Wood upon wood upon wood, air filter, and more wood, and more wood, and clamps. A lot of that wood right there is stacks of veneer, which I use for accent work and such as that. And walk back here, a little roll-around bench that has a bunch of clamps on the bottom. A dresser with some miscellanea in it. More tools of various types, including rotary tables. There's a cross-slide table for some of the more fun stuff. Toolbox, of course. My drill press. It's an old Rockwell Delta variable speed, and that's always being used. My 6-inch joiner, which again, when I'm not using it as a joiner, is obviously a table. Storage cabinet, all manner of finishes and sandpaper and the like in there. This is my multi-drawer hardware store. Got that when my dad passed and cleaned it back up, and it's still got all the hardware it used to have. Drill bits, of course. Small shelving unit with miscellaneous tools on it. There's my metal lathe. I use that a lot for making special tools and devices and fixing things. And various chucks, bits, etc. And here's my nice little mustard machine, Powermatic lathe, and wood turning tools, and more, and more. I gotta make better storage for those, obviously, but carving burrs. Lots of carving burrs. And then you open it. Lots more carving burrs. So we're around, well, this is not all of them too. I've got another cabinet. I'm embarrassed to say how many I have. My workbench, my main workbench anyways. And then outside the main shop, there's more stuff to explore. Nice little room with finishes and lubricants and adhesives. And then more wood and more. A lot of book-matched, curly, obviously, cypress crotch veneer. You just don't buy that anymore. I plucked that out of the dumpster at Cranbrook. They were tossing it. Got to do something with it. More wood in the hallway. And of course, in the bathroom, more wood. So, back out, back to the hallway. The other part of the basement, lots of tools and hardware and assorted things like that. And to the left here, the reason I don't really use the radial arm saw much anymore is this 12-inch DeWalt, which is a great tool. I use it all the time. My little scroll saw, which does everything I need. Then back this way, another toolbox, and another bench with more goodies on it and under it. Little Dremel table saw, which is surprisingly useful. A vintage Craftsman thickness planer, which I have to motor up and build up on that bench, and that'll be very handy. 1-inch belt sander, 15-inch Delta thickness planer, which I've fitted up with a helical head. It does an amazing job. And a vacuum chamber. I just finished building this up. So that's roughly all in the basement, but there is more, so let's go back upstairs, continue the tour. Here's another workspace, and this is right in my bedroom where there used to be a hot tub. So I pulled that out, put a bench in, and another bench. That is a very unique tool called a Westhoff drilling machine, and it's very unique, and I'm not going to go into it because that would take another whole tape. This is where I do a lot of the electronics build and stuff as that. And we can continue. Now as we enter the garage, there's my nice little tractor, or my car. But of course, when you have a garage, you have another available workspace. Well, there's another toolbox with all kinds of tooling for my mill. This is a very handy tool. I use it a lot for making all manner of things. And my air compressor, which supplies all the air to my shop. And another useful tool is a sandblasting cabinet. Way over there, occasionally used, is a kiln. So I can heat treat and such as that. Now, we can continue. The last workspace. In that box there, I've run AC power and air. And you see right now, I'm doing some carving on a new bowl that I'm trying out. So, finding challenges with this, but learning. So that's what I'm doing here all the time. And if you're going to have a stay-at-home order, this is the home I'm staying in. Hope you liked watching. Bye.